Haiti is in dire need of food, supplies, medical aid. So you wonder why are volunteers complaining that airlines are not allowing them extra baggage to get to Haiti. American Airlines has a new policy on checked baggage for people traveling to Haiti. They're only allowed 2 checked bags, no fees, but there's a strict weight limit, 50 pounds each. And you're allowed 2 plus that carry-on bag. Now, American Airlines says it must limit those bags for safety reasons, but some volunteers say that's too much of a restriction. They're sending life-saving equipment for people in need.
Currently, we have 4 bags that are over. They're probably not heavily weighted, but they have medicine that has been requested by numerous groups in Port-au-Prince. Direct life-threatening. You have to have this medicine to get them out at this point, or they don't make it. Can you accommodate us with these 4 extra bags, even if it meant we could carry them on?
I apologize. I'm unable to do that. Okay. I understand there's been communication throughout the day with respect to your travel plans, and all that's been communicated through our corporate communications office. And we've also received our instructions as well. And with respect to that's all been coordinated.
Okay, there you have it. We're going to get both sides out on this one. Again, our heart goes out to the people of Haiti, and obviously our attention is peaked when we're thinking, hey, aid that could be going there is turned away. But again, bottom line, is it a safety issue? We'll take your calls, 1-877-TEL-HLN. Joining me to talk about this, Fred Teesey. We welcome him back.
Hey, Mike,
again, Fred, former federal prosecutor, and Fred, you're basically an aviation expert in a case like this. Yep. Well, Fred, what do you make of this here? Again, hearts go out to the people of Haiti. What are you seeing?
They do, Mike, and people are trying to help, and people in Haiti are in dire straits. But at the end of the day, airplanes fly using the laws of physics, and the airplane doesn't know whether or not it's overloaded because it's got gold that someone stole out of Fort Knox or because it's carrying medicine to help people in Haiti. An airplane has limitations. They all do. They just can't take off with everything that you can stuff in the doors. And the pilots understand that. And believe it or not, it's a function of a lot of different things, not at least the temperature, how long is the runway, where they're leaving from, what's the weather like, where they're going, because the pilot can always take fuel or take less fuel to account for the increase in weight, but then that raises issues about whether or not he's got a headwind where he's going, how long is it going to take him, and when he gets there, if the weather's down, fuel is his friend, and if he needs to divert to Miami or Jacksonville, those are all critical concerns that he has to take into account. So at the end of the day, it's ultimately the responsibility of the airlines to get these people there safely. What happened in Haiti is a horrible tragedy, but we can't make it worse by compromising safety, trying to get people there to help.
Okay. Chris Morrow's with us, CNN reporter, freelance journalist. Chris, you uncovered this story. What did you see and what was going on at that airport? It's in San Diego.
It was pretty crazy. You know, the rescue task force, they were just trying to get over to Haiti as soon as possible. And if they were media, they would have been allowed to take the extra baggage. But because they weren't media and they were just rescue workers taking medical supplies, they had to leave something behind. And I think that that's just ridiculous.
Okay. We have with us Tim Smith, spokesperson for American Airlines. Tim, I got to get you in on this. So there's the charge that the media gets extra bags. An aid organization does not. I'll let you respond to that.
Well, first of all, most media take their cameras on board with them as a carry-on because they're fragile, and most of them use that as their allocation of allotted bags. What we have done here, and you have to remember, and Fred has said that it's a horrible situation down there. We know that the only game in town for even getting into that area is in Santo Domingo. We have put larger aircraft onto those flights, but knowing that each one of those passengers on these almost always full airplanes the last week or so is entitled to take some luggage with them. And what we're being told here is that these supplies, in some way, should be treated differently than the luggage of those other passengers. So in an attempt to try and be fair for every passenger, we have limited it to the usual 2 checked bags and 1 normal carry-on type thing.
Why is media being treated differently?
Let me finish,
Hold on,
please.
yeah.
Let me finish. No interruptions, and I won't interrupt you. This policy is definitely not designed to in any way harm people that are taking supplies in. The reality is, beyond the passenger aircraft are just that, passenger aircraft. We have flown so far 9 or 10 different relief flights from both San Juan and Miami. We have carried, as an airline, since the earthquake, more than 90,000 pounds of relief supplies into Haiti. And they have flown in there and done that. So, but getting back to this individual situation here, on passenger flights where the airplane is full and we're not allowed to sell seats into Haiti because we're not allowed to operate there, we are simply trying to give every passenger the same opportunity. And if we put extra bags on of supplies, then we have to take someone else's bag